Good morning, class. My name is Ronald Ibar, and today we are going to be going over the heat, temperature, and thermal energy topic. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how is it that I'm standing here today and speaking to you? But most importantly, how are you sitting in the class and using those brain cells to really grasp this concept? So that's what we're going to be going over. Now, today the question is, what is energy and how do we know that it's present? What we're going to do is we're going to turn to a partner and then we're going to ask each other and discuss what is it about energy that makes this work. So now that we've discussed the matter of energy, we're going to be answering a few questions. So can I get a person here to answer the question about what energy might be? Okay, that's a good response. Can I get another person here to tell me an answer? I like that answer too. Okay, so to really understand this concept, we are going to have to make sure that we know that energy is not created nor destroyed. It is conserved. And if a system has energy in it, what are four components that it's supposed to have? So let's go over that. To go over that, we're actually supposed to have a demonstration of and identify the parts of the system first, then do a demonstration, and then we're going to answer what are our observations. All right, so here we have a ball, and what are the parts of a system of a ball? What are the parts of a system of this activity? Can anyone answer that? Yes. Okay, good. So we have the hand, we have the ball, and then we're gonna drop it. See what happens. Does it have energy? Okay. I hear yes. I hear no. Does the ball have energy? Let's find out. Did it have energy when it was bouncing up? Okay, so we've identified that we have parts of a system that play a mechanism in the functioning of this activity. So what were the parts of a system again? Good, so we have my hand, we have the ball, and we also have, in this case, the floor, which helped the ball bounce back up. Now, what is a system? A system is our components that allow for a function, a specific function to happen. So once we have the hand, the ball, and the floor, it allows us to bounce up. Our observations indicate that. Can I get someone to answer the question? Okay, good. So when I bounce or drop the ball, it bounces back up. Now comes the good part, a match. Can we identify the parts of a system of this activity? Yes, sir. Okay, good. So we have my hand, which is going to be grabbing the match itself, and the surface that creates that friction. So let's see if it has the energy that we are asking for.
All right, so what kind of energy do we have here? Yeah, okay, so we have thermal energy. There's temperature change, thus creating the heat.
So what were the parts of the system again? Good, we have my hand, we have the lit match, and then we have the surface that we use to create that friction. So what were our observations when we made all the parts of the system work? The hand, the match, and the surface. Okay, good. So I'm hearing that when I lit, or when I created friction with the box, the match lit up, creating heat. For our next demonstration, we're going to use a bag. We're going to use my hand, the bag, and the air. That's going to provide us for some inflation. Going to create some trapped space so that when I hit the bag, we're expecting for the bag to pop. So let's see what happens. What do you think is going to happen when my hand comes in contact with the bag? Good. All right. So let's try it out. Now, was there energy present in the bag before I popped it? All right. What about after I popped it? Okay, good. So here we have the parts of the system where my hand, the air, and the bag. And as you mentioned, when my hand came in contact with the bag, it popped. Great, so now we have our handy dandy battery, and the parts of a system of a battery, in this case, would be my hand, the battery, and a device that I place it in. Now, I don't have a specific device to place it at the moment, but we do have a phone, so when we charge the phone, the energy is going to be, well, we're going to go over this in a minute, but it's going to create the phone, it's going to cause the phone to turn on, right? So let's say we are putting the battery on the phone. What are the parts of the system? So here we have our, does the battery have energy? Is it energy present in the battery, yes or no? Okay, some are saying yes, some are saying, okay, good. All right, so here we have our battery and our phone. If we charge our battery and we place it on the phone, what's going to happen? Good. Okay, so when the battery is placed on the phone, the phone will go on. All right, so now that we went over the parts of our system, our 4 demonstrations, and our observations when we applied the activity, what can we say about the energy? So here we have the energy is not created or destroyed, it is only conserved. How? Well, as we observed here, the energy was first. So when we dropped the ball, for instance, what happened to the energy? It was what? Do you want to discuss, do you want to have a quick discussion with the partner to see what happened with the energy? Okay, good. Now that we have our brief discussion, who was the first? Who can answer first? What happened with the energy? Okay. All right, good. So the energy was first transferred into the object. Once the energy is transferred, it is, yes, great, love it, transformed. When the energy is transferred, is it going into the object or outside of the object? Good, awesome. So it's entering the object. And what about when it's transformed? Okay, yep. So it is exiting the object. Now, let's go over this. If a system has energy in it, it must have four major things. What are the four major things? Can you discuss it with a partner? Now that we discussed it with a partner, we're going to have our whole group discuss it just to get some additional information about what makes a system have energy. So can we just take about a minute or so and discuss with the partner what happens? All right, so I'm going to be going around the class and checking in with you guys, answering a few questions. Okay, now that we've answered a few questions, what happens if a system has energy? There's no specific order. You can just shout out an answer and we can go over that. Okay, good. So it has heat present. Okay, anyone else? Yeah, sir. Okay, so it's set in motion. Okay, we have electricity, so it lights up. Okay, what is the last thing that a system needs to have for it to have energy? Okay, yep, that's a good answer. It has to make a sound. Okay, now we have a better understanding of energy, how it's transferred, how it's transformed, how it enters and exits a system, and then we also have the four major things necessary for a system to have energy. So we have heat, motion, electricity, lights up, and sound. And so here I created a flow chart that gives us that understanding. So what happens is energy happens to go in, energy goes out. But energy, when it goes in as electrical or chemical energy. It also goes in as mechanical energy. Here we have an object, we have our system. Parts of a system are here. So in this case, the ball. My hand, the ball, and the floor. They came together to create a system. We had energy going in, so in this case, I dropped the ball. The floor acted as a catalyst, right, of the system, and it bounced the ball back in, and I was able to catch the ball. So the ball was basically had no energy, but the floor managed to transfer that energy into the ball, allowing it to bounce back, and allowed me to catch it in return. The energy came out as a more stable. So here we have, when the energy goes in, the system is unstable, and somehow it has to release that energy for it to be stable, right? So this is how it became stable. So that's the important thing about understanding our concept of energy. So what new information have we learned about energy today? If we can discuss that for a moment, and allowing us to express that, you're free to do so. There are no wrong answers. After that, we are going to reflect for our homework questions. Why would knowing about energy be important to you or someone you know? So, for instance, when Hurricane Sandy struck New York City, many residents were left without access to electricity. Now, imagine a few days without electricity. How would you respond in that case? And once we've gone over all this demonstration, that basically concludes our lesson of the day.